All right, guys, welcome. This is Leo's Promotion. Today we're doing a special interview with Mr. Shady Grady Thomas, the original Parliament-Funkadelic. So we're going to get this interview started.
All right.
All righty now. First, I'd like you to take us back to your childhood. Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood?
Yeah, my childhood, man, I was hatched in Newark, New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey.
Way back in 1941. It rhymes with Grady. So y'all can figure that out, where I'm going to be with my next birthday.
All right. And do you grow up in Newark, New Jersey as well?
I grew up in New Jersey, and I moved from New Jersey to East Orange, New Jersey. But I went to school at Monmouth Street School, Cleveland Junior High, and Charlton Street School. All of those was in Newark, New Jersey.
Wow. So what about your family, your family dynamic? You know, father, sister, brother, sibling?
My mother and my father. I grew up with my mother. We had a one-bedroom house at 103 Barclay Street. We was in an A-frame house. My father was a musician, just like me. He played saxophone and he was the leader of his band, Mr. Grady Thomas. I think, I was about 5 years old, and I remember he used to go out, disappearing, doing shows just like I ended up doing the same thing. One time he left out, I was about 5 years old, and haven't seen him, don't know where he is, don't know if he's dead or alive at this point right now. But my mother, she tried to make the best of me, but I remember I was to cry at night for my daddy. I want my daddy. Because I remember when he took me to this one little club that he was playing at in New Jersey and set me up on the bar so I can act a fool. Well, they call him, his name was Grady Thomas, but they had a name, they called him Jake. They had me dancing on the bar top. Everybody was hollering, "Go ahead, little Jake, go ahead, little Jake," and that's one of the things that I remember about my father. That is when he left, and I had no idea to today where he was, or hopefully he still is. More than likely he ain't. I don't know where. He was from somewhere in North Carolina.
Do you have any siblings?
My mother told me she couldn't make another good one.
So she broke the mold.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you consider yourself growing up a good child, a bad child?
I think I was a pretty good kid all the way. A little mischievous. I wasn't bad, but although I was a bad MF when it comes to people messing with me. I was a good kid. I was a good kid for my mother, and I got in no trouble sooner or later after I got into the teenage years and so on and so forth. Not having my father, but not having my father, I had a grandfather that I was scared of. That's what helped bring me up. My grandfather was my mother.
Your grandfather was the disciplinarian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He would play, yeah. But I loved him too, There's a whole lot of gangs going on in my ears. I wonder if I should mention the name of some of these people in some of the gangs. Is that good?
Sure, that's good. This is about you.
Yeah. I I grew up through the Outlaws, Mohegans, the No Names. They were some of the bad gangs in my day.
Was you part of any of the gangs growing up?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was part of the Pythons.
Oh, okay.
I lived in the Pythons for a minute. I never got into no trouble with it. I didn't stay in none of the groups long. But the Outlaws was the big bully bad guys around in the neighborhood. The Mohawks, they were pretty bad. And then my Conquistadors was another bad bully type group. For the most, I used to get along with kind of all of them. I could go hang out with one group one day and next day.
What made you decide you wanted to join the gang?
I never have been one to conform to too many things, being child. I was always free-minded and free-hearted and
you still are.
I liked everything and everybody, There's only one time where I can tell a little story. This one guy that pissed me off one day. And I was a little younger. His name was T. Harris. And we used to hang out on Camden Street. Those were my buddies there. And he came up there one day and hit me in my jaw. And I started to grab something and bust him up. But anyway, he used to pick on a lot of people. But as I got a little older, I seen him. He was the type of dude, if he see you walking down the street and he start walking off. Yeah, T. Harris. And then, but after that time he hit me. I said, one of these days, and I got a little bigger, got some muscles on me and stuff. I ran into his butt downtown on Broad and Market Street. And I seen him from a distance walking towards me. And I said, there, that funkin' beat, T. Harris. And he seen me, and I buffed up and looked him dead as I said, I wish he would fuck with me now, and looked him up and down, hoping that I wanted him to try, because I was ready to tear his ass up.
Right. Oh my goodness.
But he just walked on by. He didn't funk with me. Yeah. I had to show some people that, hey, you can't funk with me no more.
That's right.
Come on now. You want to try it again? I probably would have wore his butt out.
Wow.
So anyway, and then I moved to East Orange, and I was just, plus I used to box too. I got into a boxing club, and I was doing pretty good, but...
How old was you when you started boxing?
I was about 19, 18. I had about 3 little fights. I had a couple of Golden Glove fights. But what messed me up, that's when I started getting into females.
Trouble.
And me not having the strength because I'm messing with those females. And I had a fight, and this one guy hit me with the fight. And I said, man, I don't like this. So I stopped fighting. I really pursued that stuff. And then I just got into sports and other things, playing baseball and football. I was good in all those things, but I moved to Plainfield, New Jersey, and got into a little semi-pro team. And there's a lot of things that was going on in Plainfield. They had a lot of few little bad mugs around there that I had to let them know that, hey, you ain't pulling that shit on me. But it was Plainfield. Again, I'm probably skipping over a few things, but Plainfield was another band. By that time, I was into the group. I jumped to Plainfield, but I need to go back to where I started back in music. And because my father was a musician, and I ended up, just like my father, disappearing from my first wife because I got in a group with that. I'll tell you about that later. But yeah, my father tried to, I wanted to be a father player, horn like my father. And he, a saxophone. I like playing saxophone.
Oh, you're a saxophone player?
No, I ain't no saxophone player. He bought me a damn clarinet. I couldn't stand that little squeaky sounding thing. He's trying to say, yeah, you got to start off with this clarinet. And I said, no, the clarinet didn't do it. So I ended up never getting on to being a saxophone player. But I used to get some pots and pans and spread them around like a set of drums, different size. That's where I started with my drumming. Yeah, that's when I got into drums.
So what was your interest in becoming a musician? Where did it come from? Did it come from your father originally?
Yeah, that and the fact that my mother could sing. And she used to sing in church, you know. And she used to send me to Sunday school on Sundays. And a couple of times, and when she wouldn't go to church, she sent me to Sunday school. And I didn't like that. Why didn't you make me go to Sunday school and you ain't going to church, you know? But across the street, our church was St. James on High Street, which I think is Muhammad Ali Boulevard now, was on High Street. And across from the church was a gospel radio station. My mother used to send me to church, but I ended up walking past the studio and hear this music coming out of there, and I used to go in there and listen to different groups, and then like the gospel clefs, the soul stirrers, and the Sam Cooke, I remember that. Who else? The Five Blind Boys. And that's what really got me into wanting to sing, you know.
How do you end up with P-Funk? The Parliament-Funkadelic, for those who don't know.
Well, I started getting my hair done. In the days, we used to get what they used to call conch jobs, where you straighten your hair and start up. And then I forgot who actually got me into this, to meet this one guy. But I would get my hair done one week. You know, when you go to the barber shop and get a process, you process your hair, but when the next week you need to get it done again. It's called a reset, you know. When somebody told me about this guy around the corner that he'll probably do your hair for nothing, you know, process your hair. So we went around this guy's house. He says, yeah, I'll do your hair. And he came out with a comb and a glass of water. And we sat in I don't know if it was his father's truck or what, a van, and processed my hair. And come to find out, this guy could sing. And who should that be?
Wow.
It was GC.
Okay.
Actually, a lot of people don't know, he wasn't a real original member that started Parliament-Funkadelic.
Oh, okay.
He was a member of the group.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at this time, you know, he might have been leading that portion of the group.
So who originally started the Parliaments and the
There
Funkadelics?
was a guy called Gene Boykins, who actually lives here in Atlanta now.
Okay. I'm sorry, but was that the original name? Was the original name the Parliaments and
Yeah.
the Funkadelics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Funkadelics, then it was just Parliament. Yeah, Funkadelics came later.
Mm-hmm. So the original members was Gene and
Charles Davis, Herbie something, and Glenn something, Tyrone Lampkin, and they got me. Then I went through some changes afterwards, and GC pulled the trick on me and got me out of the group. and got my friend of mine, who was a long, tall drinker of water, all the girls good-looking dudes, Calvin, Simon, and he snuck him in the group in my place.
how long was you with the group before they replaced you?
Well, a couple of years, 2 years or so. When we moved to Plainfield, I got back in the group singing bass. And we was the baddest group around. Local yokels, Sammy Campbell and the Delarks. Now I'm singing bass in the Parliament. The bass singer in the Delarks was so bad. And I said, man. I said, hey, I went to George. I said, hey man, why don't I just move up to baritone and see if we can get this guy, Ray Davis, to sing bass, And that's what happened. I moved up to baritone and got Ray Davis, and then I got Fuzzy Haskins from another group. I can't remember the name of the group he was in. And we were still local yokels at the time, but still, that was the group that came out professionally. Then we got the Funkadelic with this Eddie Hazel, Billy Nelson. Billy Nelson was the bass. We got Billy Nelson. He was the first guitar player, but then that's when we had our first little record out called I Want to Testify. He could never play that intro right. Friends and crazy to friends. That's how the song started. He would play, he'd go, oh, come on, Billy, come on, get it. So anyway, he told us about Eddie Hazel. And Eddie Hazel, he wasn't that good when he first came to the group.
Okay. So Funkadelic, was that a separate group and y'all just combined them?
It wasn't
a group. You're just four other members, and so how do you come with the name Funkadelics to add to the Parliaments?
I remember we did that auditions at my house on West 3rd Street in Plainfield. And Eddie Hazel at that time, he wasn't, told him, I said, look, don't call us, we'll call you. But for something happened, and I don't remember the second time we did the audition, but when he came back, he was ridiculously bad as in good, with him and then us having that single out. And then we started getting shows. We started having problems with that record company. So we said, well, let's name the band Funkadelic. Well, Billy Nelson somewhat would say, He says he's the one who started it. I'm not sure it was him, but we used the name Funkadelic until we got the name Parliament clear. And then that's when Parliament-Funkadelic, combined the name. The band was Funkadelic, which started in Plainfield. Then we got Bernie Worrell and Tiki Forward, drummer. That was the group.
So was it hard for the group to be discovered, to the world?
That new record, I want to testify, open the door for us. But we were still a doo-wop group in some respects. And when we did our first gig at the Apollo Theater, now that's another thing. When we were living in Newark, and we used to go to the Apollo to see different groups and stuff, And we'd go over there and we'd look at the professional groups, I said, oh man, I'm thinking one day maybe we gonna be up on that stage, And we go around back and see all of them, they got Cadillacs, and they getting all the they getting all the girls and stuff, Because we used to go see the Temptation, Last Night in the Pitch, and Marvelettes, and James Brown, and all of them was. Anyway, when we started going out as Parliament, we said, man, we couldn't. We was bad with our routines and stuff too, but that was something that was already done. So we had to come up with something different. And that's when we started listening to the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix and Rolling Stones, and we started changing over. And that's what really made us,
Right. I have two questions to ask you on that. What year did the Parliaments and the Funkadelic come together, was formed? And how did y'all come up with all these crazy outfits? Because I noticed back in those days, y'all used to wear some outrageous
Yeah,
outfits.
well, see, exact years. Now I'm pretty bad on naming the years, different little years sometimes. So it was the year of the hippie, and with Jimi Hendrix and all of them, and that's how we said, because we used to be doo-wop, we all in suits and doing little routines and stuff, and we was bad, but we had to come up with something different. And George was the cause of a lot of it. We was at the Apollo, and the Apollo in New York, hop, skip, and jump. We come from New Jersey to do the show at the Apollo, and somebody don't have their blue suit. Oh, I left my suit home. And so we started just mismatching clothes, and then the psychedelic era when we got the band together and started playing that hippie music and stuff. That's when we started changing, and that made us, because I think we was the first black group that started dressing all wild and crazy and playing all wild and crazy. And they were sliding stones, but they was kind of after us,
So did y'all have a regular manager for the group?
Not at that time.
Not at the time. How about going on tours and stuff like that, or was you just basically going from New Jersey to New York at the time?
Yeah, we went to a booking agency that got us into a few places. And then there's another thing that helped make us really intense. We was really the Flower Child days.
So that sounds like the late 60s, early 70s, maybe? Around that time?
And the LSD.
Whoa.
And the smoking herb and different little things. All that was happening. We did our shows, but we were so intense that people was just loving us. We played at the Sugar Shack. Let me tell you, see, I'm skipping some stuff. We was with Queen Booking Agency, but at that time, we were still wearing suits and ties. I Want to Testify was out on the radio, clean, little clean group, you know. I just want to testify that your love has done me. But we were slowly switching over, and Rudy Guarino, who was the owner of the Sugar Shack, and Rudy was a gangster, and he hired us from Queen Booking Agency, sent him the pictures of us with the suits and ties and so on and so forth. But when we got there, we was looking all wild and crazy. And remember, he wasn't going to let us play there because he said, "You guys ain't the Parliaments." I remember that. "Y'all ain't the Parliaments." And we said, "Yes, we are." Man. And he put out the pictures. He said, "No." And he called up Queen Booking Agency and was cussing them out. He's sending me some imposters and all of that, you know. And we would say, Rudy, man, we are the Parliaments. So after him fussing with Queen Booking Agency, yeah, I said, just let us play one time, you know. After that cooled down, he said, "All right, I'm gonna let y'all do one gig or so." And then that first show we did, he had a packed house. We wore them others out in Boston. After that first night, Rudy seen us, boy, he fell in love with us, you know. And I mean, Rudy was a gangster. He had his guys around, you know, and everybody, you know. And we was right around the corner outside. There was a lot of prostitutes and pimps that hanging out, you know. And some of the pimps ladies come down there. They supposed to be out there making money. They was down in the club hanging out with us, you know. And the pimps would come down there and try after their women, and they seen what was going on, and the pimps was liking us, everybody. And those was glory days. I loved it. And plus, we loved each other. You know, there was a lot of love going on through the group, man. Some of that had to do with some of the pills we were taking. I don't know if I should be squealing on us. Those were the days. And when after the show, the hotel was kind of in walking distance, you know. So after the gig was over, people started following us, walking down the street like we was the Pied Pipers. And we go down to the hotel, and a crowd of people down there, and they just loved hanging out. And we was just ridiculously. And plus they was half high for whatever they was doing. And that's when we broke out really good in Boston, you know.
So that's when y'all started going more on different tours and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
And by that time, did you pick up a manager then, or you're still basically just freelancing?
Just freelancing. We didn't have no manager at the time.
And so who wrote most of your music for the group?
I'll give it to George. I'll say he wrote most of the music. We had started doing stuff, the group, on stage, you know, freelancing music in different grooves and stuff. And George would go to the studio and write lyrics to some of the stuff. And that's how we got beat for our involvement, you know. So it was George around that time, you know.
Now, you said earlier that George was not one of the original members of the Parliament-Funkadelic. When did he come in?
I don't know when he had. I just found out a couple of years ago that he wasn't. We always thought that he had
was
started.
Okay.
When I first met him, he was the leader of that group.
The Parliaments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was life like, you know, on the road, you know, with traveling with the band?
Oh man, it was ridiculously glorifying and having so much fun, meeting people, traveling, and I'm thinking, you know, man, I don't have to work at General Motors. We got to keep doing this here and going from city to city And just, and every place, you know, every place we just, people just loving us, we turning them out and start, the reputation just start growing, you know. Oh, these are some bad MFs. And every place we went, people was bringing us drugs and stuff. And me personally, I'm glad I never really liked cocaine. I did my share, but it never worked with me. I was the king of the potheads.
Right. And you have to be careful because a lot of times people take advantage of people, you know, when they know they have that habit. And so you have to be careful with that. What was your greatest experience, your greatest achievement with the Parliaments and the Funkadelics?
Being inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes. And when was that? If you
in 97, I think it was.
That is a great achievement.
And just picking up a Grammy a couple of years ago.
And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that our late Prince that actually handed it to you, if I recall? Because I watched it.
No, he represented it. He didn't hand it to us. He just spoke on it because he was at the presentation of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's a great honor. Only thing about that is, I'd rather be in the Bank Hall of Fame.
Yes. Now, I'm going to go back a little bit, because I know, you know, with the time changes and everything else that's going on, how is it now in the music industry for you guys?
After we left the group, reformed and realized that we still have rights to the name Parliament-Funkadelic too, we said, well, hey, let's use that. We started using the name, that's me, Calvin, Fuzzy, and Ray. We started using the name Original P, Parliament-Funkadelic.
Now, what year did you leave the group and what year did you reform the group? Okay, we're not going to ask about no years, but it's been a while, been a good while.
Let me see. 1979, the boys stopped the crime. They hit a score for the score before, and then put a shock to the lion. You know what a lion is? Anyway, that's something that I was going to put out there one time. But yeah, the exact dates I'm not sure about. Now, if you want to ask about how I felt then, you know, we all were kind of pissed at what happened and how it happened. On some hand, part of it was our own fault, you know.
Can I ask you, can you go into detail, or because legally, can you talk about what happened with the group, why y'all went your separate ways?
Only thing we can talk about is the fact that we got duped out of money and rights because, you know, we didn't get our names on different little contracts and stuff. Then they started bringing other people in and then try to put us in the back of the stage to sing one time. That didn't work, you know. So that's what made us, you know, that's when it wasn't so much, it wasn't fun no more because it was showing these different little things. But we didn't go for it, so I said, that's when we quit with him.
So basically, a lot of the original members, y'all all left
the
together,
members.
And y'all started another group.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the original members, which was me, Calvin, Fuzzy, Ray, and George. And people ask us, now that's when we got different little managers and so on and so forth, which ended up not being too good. But as much as I love the fact of how when we started off with Parliament-Funkadelic, how great that was, and so on and so forth, and that's going through the ups, and then the down part. Now, going back up, we never have reached the plateau of being Parliament-Funkadelic, so to speak. But it was much better because we was in control of it, ourselves. And we got to be as good a group as he ever had. And we were still kicking butt, still kicking ass.
But was that hard though, when people found out that it was two groups out, because y'all both was carrying the same name? So did that make it hard for y'all to go out there and perform, or did it make it hard for y'all to be booked as
sometimes it got in the way. That's what I'm saying. It got in the way, and then of course a few things happened in Georgia tried to stop us, but he couldn't. We had legal jurisdiction to be able. Neither one of us was supposed to use the name Parliament-Funkadelic on paper, But he started using it. So instead of us trying to go and fight back about him using it, say, hey, we just use it too. So that's when the original P, Parliament-Funkadelic. That way he couldn't sue us, or we couldn't sue him. And plus, because that wasn't going to get nowhere anyway. But lawyers getting everything.
Oh yes, they're gonna definitely get paid. I really do appreciate you taking this time out with me. This is Leo's promotion, and I am so honored to be able to sit in your presence. What are your plans now?
Yeah, you want to know if the Lord let me, still gonna go. But our plans, the only reason why we're not still out there doing it is because of the pandemic, the damn tammic. That's put a stop to everything. And plus, when the original P, all the members that was in our group, Ray Davis passed away, Clarence Haskins is in I don't know if it's a retirement home, I don't know if not a retirement, but a rehabilitation. He has a few health problems. Calvin Simon is rich. He's doing well. He's doing something different. And I'm the only one left from the original P funk. Like I said, the Lord let me have a look. I've been blessed, so blessed. I've had 2 strokes, which I didn't even know about the first stroke I had. I didn't find out that I had another stroke till I had the second stroke. When they put me on this machine, and the lady said, this is your second stroke. I said, I never had no stroke before. I had no idea that I had a stroke a couple of years earlier. And conditional heart failure, 2 cataract surgeries, 1 on each eye. And so right now, all I'm doing is trying to working on getting on my book together. I want to get back out there, y'all. Y'all help me, get me. Y'all know you love Grady Thomas. Shady Grade quadruple A. I'm praying again and praying and saying, hopefully by the time this pandemic is over, that I'll be able to get back out there because, after having 2 strokes, I'm doing pretty well. I'm not twisted up. My equilibrium is off just a little bit.
Why purple and black?
For one, it's royal and godly. For 2, I don't have to worry about matching clothes. I get anything I grab, it's going to be purple and black or purple. And I've been known for wearing purple and black for years. And how that came about was from a friend of ours from East Orange, New Jersey. Her name was Judy Carey. I'm sorry, y'all. She wore purple all the time, and I just liked that color, So, but in all these years, it just stuck with me.
Now, last question. What are your plans now?
Keep on putting out music, and I've been writing this book for a couple of years now, but haven't been doing those shows due to the virus, that I'm home trying to work on that and get my book done and get some new music out.
And we're gonna always continue to support you. He has a birthday coming up. And
on election day.
And yes, it's on election day this year, January the 5th, guys. He has a birthday coming up, and if you could rhyme really well, you'll figure out his age. What goes with Shady Grady? Okay. So, is there anything else you would like to add?
Again, I think I said it in another way, but I really miss all the friends and fans that I made over the years. And I sure want to see some of you all, and maybe get up a couple of new ones,
Well, this is just a suggestion, and I'm going to put it out there. Shady Grady has a Cash App, and if y'all would like to support and donate the Shady Grady Fan Club, we will have that posted in the bottom of this video, in the credits. It will be posted for the Shady Grady Fan Club Cash App. All right, guys. So on that note, this is Aaliyah's Promotion. We're signing out. Thank you for listening, and please support. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Okay.